I have alopecia universalis. Basically, that means that I don't have a single hair left on my body. It's all gone.
I have alopecia areata Orpheus pattern, which is a circle around my head. I lost all of my hair, but I'm now in remission as my hair has grown back. I occasionally get a few little hairs, here and there on my head or my arms, but it's pretty much mostly, completely head to toe.
I've had alopecia for about 3.5 years and it's still in its sort of up and down phase. It sort of hasn't reached its level. My alopecia is alopecia areata, and that's generally just small patches on the back of my hair.
Alopecia affects nearly 2% of us at some stage in our lives, but everyone's experience is different.
For me, it was a tiny little patch on the back of my head. I was doing my hair to go to the races and found it was really smooth and shiny. I was like, oh, what's that? And thought maybe I'd burnt myself and made the hair fall out or something like that. And over the next month, kept touching it. And I was like, I think it's getting bigger. And then, it started to fall out really quickly. I lost half the hair on my head in about a week. And then within a month, I had to shave it. It was all like, couldn't hide it anymore. And then within 6 months of the first patch, it was head to toe, not a single hair.
And no major event in your life that...
Not really.
Lead to it.
I was working lots and probably not taking the best care of myself, but it's also, that's not necessarily the cause of it.
No.
It could have just come out of nowhere, and it's just, who knows?
Yeah. A lot of people say stress causes alopecia. It is autoimmune, so they're really not sure what causes alopecia.
So I felt it was stress for me. I had a little traumatic episode within the family, and then 12 weeks later, it started. For me, it was just a little patch, and my wife found it, and she said, "Oh, did your hairdresser nick you?" And I said,
All similar experience.
and then it just spread underneath, and then to my beard, and I didn't really think too much of it, but it just never went away.
Alopecia doesn't really have any physical harm on a person. For some people, not having any eyelashes or nose hairs can have a bit of an impact in terms of allergies and that kind of thing. It's more of a mental impact for many people.
My experience, and maybe shared, was I didn't feel attractive anymore, and I did worry that my partner wouldn't like me anymore because that's not the person that he met, and that was quite challenging, and I had to get a lot of reassurance. Do you still like how I look? Am I still pretty? Am I still beautiful?
My universalis is fairly new, so dating, I just haven't bothered to, because when do you disclose it? Straight up? 6 dates in, 2 dates in, are you lying if you don't tell them straight away? And then, of course, the feeling of being ugly, or they don't want to be with someone that's bald.
I think everyone just instantly thinks you're sick, even though, I have people tell me that I don't look sick. I had someone out on a night out come up to me and, be like, screw cancer, screw chemo, and I was like, how do I respond to this? And there's a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, my confidence, I'm a quiet person, but it just, shot to bits, really. Playing football on a Saturday, you're just not yourself, and I think I've struggled a lot. For a male, it shouldn't be too hard for me to have no hair, because every second or third bloke is bald. But from my perspective, my family's got hair, and it's just not a normal thing in our genes. I find that a lot of my family don't ask about it, which is hard to deal with because they don't really care. But I'm happy to talk about it to them, but I'm not one to bring it up.
In terms of treatment, first step is seeing your GP and then your dermatologist. There are medical treatments available. However, they're not very accessible to everyone. The first medication I went on was a medication they give to people to stop organ transplants being rejected. And I got hair growth back, but literally everywhere. So I had peach fuzz all over my face, and it was really white, blonde and fluffy, but then that started falling out. And then they put me on a chemo drug, which was meant to stop my immune system, lower my immune system so that would work. And I just had the biggest allergic reaction to that. I had a big puffy face the day I took it. I couldn't speak. I'd lost the ability to speak. That's how much it messed with my body.
I've obviously responded incredibly well to medication. It's very costly. I think that is a big consideration, and you do need to weigh up your long-term health with being on medication. I've had relapses in being on the medication, but for me, for the moment,
it's working.
It seems to be working. So if that's a decision I've made to stay on that long term.
You have heaps of wigs though, don't you?
Oh, yes. So I have about 14 or 16 wigs. I've got my halo wigs for under beanies, long, short, curly, straight. One of the best things that happened just recently, my daughter has singing weekly, and her singing teacher turned to me and goes, "You always look like you've stepped out of a hair salon." And I might just be in activewear or whatever. And I said, well, actually.
Makeup has been my saviour kind of thing. So I've got my eyebrows tattooed, but eyeliner is my biggest thing. Because I don't have eyelashes, I find that not having anything kind of on your face, you look quite different to how everyone else looks, and having a really bold kind of eyeliner makes that it kind of like I've got eyelashes, not quite the same, but it's still that, you know, that little bit there.
Yeah, what do you do in terms of the male world to hide and cover your hair? Because I guess for females, you know, alternative hair, it's probably easier to access.
Just wearing a hat 24/7 nearly.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider shaving it? Like a lot of people say, just
I have.
It.
Yeah, plenty of times just shave it off, just number one, and see what did grow back or what you know where it would go. But no, I just wear a hat. I drive a truck every day, so I can pretty much hide. I've seen people for help about it, and it's just going to be ongoing.
Look, hopefully we get to the point one day, because when people will ask or I speak, they don't know what alopecia is. And then you've got to explain it to them. And it'd be nice to get to a point where people know it like cancer. You know, they understand what it is, how it, you know, there's different forms of it, this, that and the other, so you don't get these bizarre stares and people thinking you're sick.
It's nice to have a common thread.
Absolutely.
It's like people that get it, it's kind of heartwarming, and it reminds you that you're not alone. I mean, like we have been, you know, all had our different experiences, and it's so obvious that we all have very different experiences, but they're all still so similar at the same time. It's just nice to be around people that actually get it.